Okie dokie, y'all. Today we're going to do a little bit of a longer one. We're going to do about a 30-minute stretching progression. It's something I used to do when I was a gymnast, and now I do it every day when I wake up. And then right before I go to bed, it helps me kind of focus. In the evening, it'll help me kind of relax and settle down if I've been up and around doing crazy things all day. So we'll start with a little bit of a warm-up, and then we'll get stretching. So first we're gonna squat all the way down, and you're gonna go up, and you're gonna bring your arms up and around. So squat down, and then arm circle. And you can go the other way with your arms. You can just do a shrug if that's more comfortable. And we're gonna do this for a few minutes. Not a few minutes really, but you know. And now we're gonna do circles with our neck. Nice and slow. Just let your head feel a little bit heavier than normal. And we'll go one more time around, and then we'll go the other way. Okay, and now we're going to stretch the sides of our neck. And you gotta be gentle with this because you don't need to stretch these muscles that much. But basically you're gonna lean your ear to your shoulder and then grab and just pull a little bit. You're gonna let this shoulder get a little bit heavier, let it droop. You should feel it all through here. And then we'll do the other side. Same thing, let this shoulder get heavy. Okay, we're swinging our arms around a little bit, just making sure our shoulders are nice and loose. And then pull one arm across your chest. Make sure you don't let it sag down. If you keep it up here, it'll make sure you stretch this side of your arm. And just make sure you're breathing nice and deep while we're doing all this. And we'll switch. Same thing, keep this arm about shoulder height. Don't let it droop down. Tabby is hanging out on one of my lights because it's warm, so she will probably come down and say hi at some point. You're gonna reach behind your back and pull the elbow. Oh boy. These stretches should be pretty easy. I can do them, and as you all know, I don't bend very much. So if you want to get a sibling to come do them with you, if you want to get one of your adults around to come do them with you, it's a nice way to just relax a little bit. Do a couple more shrugs. Make sure you're nice and loose. Doing at these, some shrugs. We can throw in some more of our squats. But for now, you're gonna stand in a little bit of a straddle and lean forward. If you can't touch the mat, that's okay. Just grab your elbows. But make sure you're not like rounding your back over. Keep your back flat so that you feel a stretch all the way down your leg. Bend your knees a little bit, sink into that. That'll stretch your hips out. And then back up. And you can rock side to side. It'll stretch each leg kind of individually. Again, if you can get your hands all the way flat, keep them there. I just realized I was going to play music along with us for y'all, but I forgot, so you're going to have to settle on listening to my wonderful voice. Go to one side and grab that foot. Take a couple nice deep breaths, See if you can get your nose to this knee if you're one of the more flexible ones. Otherwise, just see if you can grab that foot. And then switch. And then back to the middle, bend your knees on down a little bit. And then we're gonna stand back up. This is the part that I don't like very much, but we will get through it together. You're gonna bend forward a little bit as if you're trying to touch your toes. Make sure you don't round your shoulders. We want a nice flat back. And you're just gonna go down as far as you can. For me, that's about here, which is really sad. But I know some of you are gonna be able to grab your toes, and I would like you to do that if you're able to. Make sure you don't let those shoulders droop too far. And if you want to know something sad, this is better than it used to be. For me, at least. And you're going to squat down a little bit. Try and keep your back flat. If you're doing it right, you should feel a nice stretch back here in your hamstrings. And then straighten your legs and bend back forward. See if you can go a little bit further down. And then here's a fun one. Try and straighten one leg, really lean into it, bend the other, and then we'll just switch. And as long as you're keeping your back nice and flat, you're gonna feel that stretch really strongly in whichever leg is straight. Oh boy. And squat down a little bit, and then both legs straight. You would think stretching would not be this tiring, but it is. We are going to work on our butterfly a little bit. So usually we have you guys push your legs down, but first I want you to just hold your ankles and just let your knees drop as far as you can get them. And we are going to relax a little bit. Okay. And then before we go any further, I want you to make sure you're not sitting back here on the back of your butt. Try and scoot it back a little bit so you're sitting on your butt bone right there. And that'll help with the stretching as well. Go ahead and see if you can squeeze your muscles and get your knees down any further. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure you're still pushing down a little bit. We're not going to push super hard, just enough. Make sure you're still sitting on your butt bone. And push those knees down. And here's the fun part. We are going to bend forward a little bit, but you need to make sure your back is still just as straight as it was earlier when we were trying to touch our toes. This works on what's called your external rotation of your leg. It's what makes your leg go like this. And it is a super important part of flexibility. So that's why we do butterflies. It's why we stretch so much before we do every practice. And then go ahead and fold down the rest of the way. You don't need to keep a straight back for this. See how low you can go. Honestly, if you just want to chillax here for a few more seconds, you can pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and move on for now, though. So we are going to sit in a half straddle. So one leg is bent, kind of in a butterfly, and the other leg is straight all the way out. You're going to keep your toes towards the ceiling for now. And this is one I'm not very good at, so bear with me. Okay. So if your right foot is sticking out, you're going to take your left arm, cross it across. Just kidding, I lied. You're going to take your right arm and go this way. And then we're going to stretch across. If you're doing this right, you should feel it all along this side. If you can grab your toes, that's fantastic. But for now, do this. You can turn your head up towards the ceiling a little bit more to increase that stretch. Ooh. Y'all can tell I haven't been doing this one very much. Make sure you keep breathing nice and deep. Don't try and hold your breath while you're doing all of these. Okay. So now we're going to turn our belly button so it's facing the foot that is in front of us. This leg is still going to be bent up by our body, and you're just going to bend forward and try and grab your toes. You should feel this stretch all along the back of the leg that is straight. If you want to make it stretch even more, pull your toes back even more. If it's already too much of a stretch, go ahead and point your toes, and that should make it a little easier. Okay, and then we're gonna switch sides. So again, start in a half straddle. Make sure this leg is out to the side. Your belly button is facing forward. Let's see, take your left arm, put it across, reach up and over. Same thing, go ahead and look up towards the ceiling and focus on taking nice deep breaths. Okay, and then point your belly towards your front foot. And the same deal as last time, bend straight over your knee and grab your foot. Again, if it's too much of a stretch, point your toes. If it's not enough, bring your toes up towards the ceiling. Okay. And just take a moment and breathe a little bit. Focus on areas of your body that might still be a little bit tight, and we will get to those. Okay, so now we're gonna sit in a full straddle. You can point your toes, you can flex your toes, and I'm just realizing you can't see my toes on this video. And we're gonna sit up nice and tall, keep your back flat, and just go forward as far as you're comfortable. Some of you might be able to do a pancake where your belly is flat against the ground. The rest of us cannot do that, so feel free to bend your knees a little bit to go further down. That'll change where you're stretching just a little bit. And you can alternate between the two if you think it helps. I personally like this one better because I feel like it stretches the back of my leg better. And this one will hang out in for just a little bit. Try and keep your knees pointing up towards the sky. Don't let your big toes touch the ground. Reach just a little bit further, and then slowly roll back up. Okay, we are going to lay down now, and you're just going to grab your legs and pull them to your chest, and relax a little bit. And then go ahead and pick one leg, straighten it out, and pull the other up to your chest. And then if you'd like, you can straighten that leg. Your goal is to get it all the way up, but we're gonna hang out around here today, I think. If you need to bend your leg just a little bit, that's okay. Try not to let it go like that. It's not always fun, but this is one of the best stretches to help you get your splits. Okay, we're gonna bend our knee back down, pull it up to our chest like we were just doing, and then you can grab your ankle and pull it to the side like you're trying to put your knee in your armpit. Just find a spot up on the ceiling, focus on it, and take some nice deep breaths. Okay, you're going to take the leg that is bent, you're going to bring it on top and cross it over. And this is a really nice stretch for your back. It might get your glutes a little bit. Every time I do it, a different part of my back makes some popping noises, so that's fun. To make it more of a stretch, make sure both legs are straight. If it's too much of a stretch, you can bend the top leg a little bit. Okay, and then we're just going to switch legs. So the leg that was bent is now straight. I hope you all enjoy my lovely camera work. We're making this on a phone, and I don't have a lot of space right now. can. It might be easier to grab your calf and pull your leg up. If you're like me and you can't get your leg that far, just behind your knee is fine. Okay. We're gonna bend that leg. Same thing as last time. Grab your ankle and push your knee towards your armpit. And we're gonna cross on over again. Okie doke. The next stretch we're going to do is going to focus on our glutes. So you're going to sit with both legs bent. You're going to pick one up and cross it over the other like we do when we're stretching our ankles. You're going to lay on back, and you can either grab behind the back of your leg, or you can grab in front of your knee. And that'll change how much stretch you're getting. And then we'll switch legs. You can grab back here or on the knee. And this is once again working on our external rotation. Okay. The next part we're going to do is going to be really good for your splits. So we're going to get in our lunge like we normally do. Feel free to grab a pad or something for your back leg if you think it would help. And you're just going to push forward into it. If this is a stretch for you, that's fine. If you need a little bit more, you can reach your arms up and bend back a little bit. But I am going to stick right here for now. And then we're going to slip into what I like to call broken split, but I believe is called pigeon pose. So you're going to bend your front leg, take it out to the side, and then just sit on down. So it's kind of like a split, but your your front leg is bent. And if that's a stretch, go ahead and keep it there. If you need a little bit more, you can sit down and reach forward. This one feels really nice if you've been stuck on your computer all day working on classwork. You haven't moved very much. And we'll take a couple more deep breaths on this one, and then we'll switch sides. And then we'll do the same thing on the other leg. So we'll start with our lunge and bend into it. And let your body get used to that for a second. And then if you need more of a stretch, reach up nice and tall. Okay, and then we'll go down into broken split one more time. And go ahead and go all the way down if you can. And come on up a little bit. When I was younger, I used to just sit like this in front of the TV. I don't have that much free time now, but every now and then I'll get on my computer or my laptop sitting like this. Okay. And then we'll sit up all the way. And again, just relax for a second. Take a moment to see how everything's feeling. If there are areas that are still tight, make sure you stretch them a little bit more when we're done. And then if there's areas that are feeling good, hey, okay. We know what we can do to make them work now. This is the last one we're gonna do. Is honestly kind of a fun pose to chill in if you're reading a book or you're just hanging out. We're basically gonna do our butterfly, but upside down. So you're gonna start sitting like puppy dog, then you're just gonna spread your knees out further and further. You're gonna go as far as you can, make sure your feet stay on the ground. You don't want them hanging up like a tail. And just go on your elbows. You can rock back and forth a little bit, find out what gives you a best stretch. And we will hang out here. This is our last stretch for now. If you'd like to hang out even after the video is over, that is okie doke. If you are super bendy, you can see if you can go all the way down like that. But I cannot hold that one for very long because it hurts. You rock forward just a little bit, rock back. This is what I like to do instead of my middle split because middle splits hurt my knees because I'm old. So now I can do this and it stretches pretty much the same without hurting my knees. Okay, so instead of just popping up out of this, my pro tip, you all, is to lay forward and just pull yourself forward so you're sitting on your stomach. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you found it relaxing and also a very good stretch. That's all I have for you for now, and I can't wait until I get to see y'all back in the gym again. Hope everybody's staying safe and healthy.